Hello and welcome to the next edition of Introductions to the Physiquipe team. Today I'm joined by Jamie Goodwin, who's our Business Development Manager. Jamie, how are you doing?
Morning, Andy. I'm really good, thanks. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Doing well. I feel like I'm wearing this fleece a lot at the moment because it's so cold, but it's comfy and it's doing the job. So yeah, that's
Suits you.
good.
Brilliant white suits you.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, got my lights on, so yeah, it's all good. But yeah, how's life been at Physiquipe for you? You joined us. Was it September you joined us?
Yep, joined in September. So yeah, I feel like I'm settled in now. Um, and yeah, it's been a really good start. We've got fantastic products that are used both in the NHS, elite sports, independent practitioners. And yeah, it's been a really exciting start to the role. And I think there's some really good potential moving forwards, really, for how our solutions fit in with MSK professionals.
Brilliant. And just from your perspective, how did it come about that you've come to be working with us?
Yeah, well, it was a little bit of a unorthodox, you know, way that it came about. So I was at a wedding. My wife is good friends with Emily, who's our general manager, and we just got chatting. Emily mentioned that there might be a role becoming available at Physiquipe, and she was surprised to hear that I was working in the medical device space. And then the rest is history, as they say, really.
Yeah, well, no, I remember it because I'd been in London and I was on my way back up on the train, and Emily had messaged me saying, "I think I've got someone who might be quite good for this." So I'm like, "All right, okay." Quick check out on LinkedIn, and yeah, as you say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
And that for you then. So whether it's about the physical role, but I suppose because you've joined quite recently, what is it important for you for you to get out of a role?
Yeah, I think what I enjoy is helping clinicians find um, the solution that they're looking for in terms of being able to offer clinically effective treatments in their practice, and also how it's going to work for their business as well. So being more of a trusted advisor to the clinician in terms of our solutions and how they're going to work, not just, selling something to them and then disengaging, moving forwards. We really want to help our clients really, and want to build that personable relationship. And I think that's what sets myself and Physiquipe apart from some of the other companies out there.
Yeah, and from my side as well, it was really helpful for me because when you're interviewing people, you never really know, other than obviously Emily had spoken highly of you, because you knew quite a few people in the industry, and the feedback I had from whether it was John Rogers, Wakar Bhatti, Shub, they were all really positive, which does really help just because you never know, do you, when people are coming through, the
You
interview only
don't,
goes
and
so far.
yeah, I can only thank them for positively endorsing me. Yeah, maybe I should buy them a beer at some point.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Free beer with every piece of equipment sold. It's done.
Yeah, don't
So
shockwave and drink. Yeah.
yeah, no, exactly. Like for you to do that, then, so for you to offer that service that you're talking about there, what skills do you think you need to be able to deliver that service?
Yeah, well, I think it's important that we know the products very well, and also how those products can be implemented into clinical practice, but also meet the business and financial needs of the practice as well. So how is it going to work if a clinic decides to take on a shockwave system? How are they going to make that work for their clinic without it losing money ultimately? So I think all decisions have to be, patient focused, and the intention has to be to improve clinical outcomes. But ultimately, a lot of clients and businesses that we work with, they're independent practices and they need to make it work from a numbers point of view as well. So I think that's what's important there. Um, you know, Helping people discover what is actually going to work for their practice and how it can work and how other clinicians have made it work in their practice.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it is. It's that that initial conversation, even though the equipment's the same, it's trying to understand where they're trying to go with their business, isn't it? Understand, because people, a lot of them may want the same sort of outcomes, but people may be looking at expanding new clinics, growth. They may want to stay on their own. They may want to develop new services, integrate it. There's a lot of different ways and you can do it. So for us, being able to understand where they're trying to get to and then deliver it, I agree. I think that's a key component to see how it's going to work in their environment.
Yeah, so it's interesting, when I'm discussing this with clinicians to find out sort of how many patients they're seeing a week, um, whether they can incorporate some of our solutions into existing appointments, for example, or whether it be an additional thing that they sort of push out to their patients. So yeah, it's just about asking questions really, and then finding out how it's going to work. And we have, sometimes we have clinicians who think that it can't work for their business, but then when we go through some of the numbers and some of the ways that it can generate revenue for their business, it becomes apparent that it's actually quite a useful solution for them.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. And then, so for you, then, like, what's been your best or proudest memory? We'll say from a work context in this one.
Okay, what at Physiquipe, I'm assuming.
Anything, if you want to choose other ones,
Yeah.
that's on your head.
Yeah, well, I mean, just one that springs to mind recently is I met with a clinician on an ultrasound course a few months ago. So he was at the beginning of his ultrasound journey, looking for a system. He advised that he'd had some negative experiences with some other companies out there where they didn't really get back to him with his questions, and he just felt a little bit you know, lost really in the process because he wasn't getting anything back. But he was very complimentary of myself and Physiquipe, the way that we were always on hand to answer his questions. We answered his questions very impartially, and provided him with sort of the best guidance in terms of what machine would be best for his needs. And he luckily gave us a really good review, which was great to see.
Yeah, no, that was really nice. No, again, I think it is interesting because certainly for you and I, we do similar roles in terms of business development and supporting and trying to win new business, but do it in the right way. And I think sometimes it can be seen as there's a barrier between a sales company and a clinician, a business, whatever it is. Whereas really for us, my goal certainly is to have like word as part of their team. How do we
Yeah,
really support them with what they're doing? Of course, we're promoting particular products, but how do we help them get to where they're going? And sometimes it may not be our stuff, that is, but that's fine as well because we're trying to build things for life. Like one of my favorite books is called The Infinite Game, and it's not just about how do we make money now? It's like, no, we're in this for the long haul. That's our plan. We're really here to help grow the industry in whatever way that moves. So yeah, so I think particular examples like that, which well, maybe we don't mention who it was, but it was we've got the quote somewhere. But yeah, no, it is. I love getting those ones now, and every single testimonial or positive feedback we get, I'm really proud of it because I think it's great, and certainly for when it's with other people, new people like you, it's really great.
yeah, I agree. It's really nice when you have that feedback. And like you said, we don't, we're not just a sales company where, someone buys something and they don't hear from us again. We do offer a value added service, and we are there to support the clinician or client moving forward with training and any questions they have.
Mm, yeah, and that for you then. So before you joined Physiquipe, who have been the influential people within your career to date?
Well, my career basically, so I've been in the medical devices industry for just over 9 years. But before Physiquip, that was at one company. So that was with a company called TRB Comedica. And we distributed mainly the Ostenil range of visco supplements. Um, So the customer base at Physiquipe was very similar to the customers that I dealt with at TRB. So you mentioned there some names previously that positively endorsed me. So it was nice to have that crossover in the roles, and I knew a lot of sort of customers that you guys were working with as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, that is really good to be sort of, again, as what we said before, really just working with these people rather than for them or selling to them. And like for you, what are you particularly excited about for the future?
I think for the future, I think, my role is product manager of the Alpinion ultrasound systems, and I think that it's relatively early days really in our ultrasound journey, but the feedback we've had on the systems has been excellent. And I really do think there's a massive space for us in that sort of MSK ultrasound market. um, and yeah, I think it's really exciting moving forward. I think, we can help a lot of clinicians with their ultrasound needs, getting a really good system with good image quality at affordable pricing. So that's where I think is really exciting this year.
Yeah, no, agreed. And then just outside of work, how do you switch off?
I don't really. I've got two young kids, so it's busy every day. But it's really good fun every day. It's obviously chaos, as you can understand. I do love to play football. I've been out for a while with an injury, but I'm actually back this Saturday playing for my 11-a-side team, which is good. So there might be a little bit of rust and some cobwebs to dust off, but hopefully class is permanent.
Oh, well, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'll definitely cut that out as a clip.
Yeah.
All right, so you're back playing 11 asides, right? Is that like how are you going to be starting, or is that going to be a bench position or what?
I'm not sure really. I mean, if I'm not starting, I'm not gonna complain. But I've had word on the grapevine that I will be starting actually, up front as well, which is nice. So a bit less running.
Well, after hearing that, maybe you won't be starting.
Yeah, yeah. Don't let this get out.
Yeah, no, very good. Look, Jamie, it's great having you on the team. I really agree with that, your philosophy and the way that you do things, and that's obviously why we want really keen for you to join the team. So I'm really excited about it as well. And yeah, good luck with all the projects you're working on.
Yeah, cheers, Andy. Thanks for your support. It's been a really good start with Physiquipe, and looking forward to the future.
Great. Thanks, Jamie. Cheers.
Cheers, Andy. Thanks.